Thank you everyone for joining us on Tips to Train Your Staff on Line Leader and Role. Our agenda today, we're going to go through some best practices. Managing multiple childcare centers and training staff can feel overwhelming, especially when it comes to training your staff on new tools and systems, but it doesn't have to be. This webinar is going to reveal some essential tips and tricks for training and empowering your multi-center childcare teams. Our speakers for today, myself, I am Shauna Schlebach, Director of Customer Operations for Line Leader.
And myself, Tony, the account manager here, helping our existing clients with adding any new services or products to their existing services they're using today.
And I'm Adrienne. I'm a customer success advocate. I've had over 15 years of experience in the industry with childcare centers and schools and things like that. So I'm very familiar with the time constraints that you guys face. I also have a BA in sociology. So hopefully this will give you some insight into how to encourage your team with using this product.
And with that, we will get started with our 4 best practices to get your staff to be all in on any new or old tools that you may be using within your childcare centers. First of all, communication is essential. For example, are you training your staff on a new platform? If so, then before you train them, make sure you tell them why you're making the switch. What benefits will they experience from your new technology and how it will make their day easier? It's all about ways that this solution will save time or it will save money. Provide stats or success stories of other childcare organizations that have used the same platform and seen success with it. Make sure that what you provide to them is quantifiable and get very specific with the information. Companies with effective communication plans increase employee retention by 4.5 times. One of the biggest parts of a communication plan, though, is you have to ensure you're tying it to your overall mission. Be actively involved. Make sure your teams feel like they are a part of this decision. Make sure that they know that adopting new software is a group effort, that you're making this as a joint decision with them in mind, and it's really going to provide them with resources that they need. Third thing is to take the time to make sure everyone understands how the right technology can help automate their daily tasks. It will pay off later. For example, train your team on one feature at a time. The right childcare solution should offer a tour scheduling tool, letting families book tours right from your website. Teach your directors how to set each center's availability so no one's unexpectedly caught off guard when a parent shows up to see your center. You want to make sure that they are aware of what tools are out there and what opportunities that they have. Choosing the right tools, just like you make sure you have the right people in the right places doing the right job, you also need to ensure that they have the right tools available to use. With Line Leader, we have a 96% customer satisfaction rating, and our in-house support team provides invaluable resources. I'm going to turn things over to our resident expert, Adrienne Strong, to lay out some tips to use when you are training your team.
All right. Thank you, Shauna. So the first thing that we always talk about internally is how do we keep staff engaged? How do we get them excited about something new that's coming on board? We don't want them to see it just as another to-do on their list. We really want them to understand the power behind using the platform. So the first one is to show them, don't just tell them. We want them to understand, how interesting it is, how much time it can save them. So internally, we use Canva. A lot of times with our customers, we also use PowerPoint. We can add little videos, animation. But most of the time, 65% of us internally, as well as your staff, are probably visual learners. I know myself, I'm a visual learner. I'm also a kinesthetic learner. So I'm sure your teachers in their centers, they're using dramatic play, they're using things where people learn by actually doing it. A lot of times people don't learn by just reading it or hearing it. So we really want to encourage making sure that it's visually appealing. And, that's a great way to kind of get them invested in it, but also to retain a lot of that information. So we definitely want to encourage you guys use those low cost presentation tools to keep them engaged and to keep them interested when you're introducing something new to them. The second thing is to definitely inspire with success stories. In terms of our product, it's going to save the staff, time with their daily schedules in terms of, your teachers or even your admin with the daily, progress sheets that most of the time will end up at the bottom of someone's car or end up in the trash can or end up at the playground field when parents are picking up their kiddos. So a lot of that is going to be eradicated by using our product. A lot of the self-service can be used for your staff as well as your parents. We know that with our research with millennials and even Gen Zers, a lot of people want to do things kind of at their own pace, with leisurely, whether it's online, whether it's digitally, but really allowing them to do a lot of those actions that are, used to be paper and pen is hopefully going to energize them into using it. So the daily sheets, we want to kind of get rid of that. For your staff, when they're checking in and checking out on a daily basis, they can do that electronically. In terms of parent pickup or drop off, we all know how crazy that can be. So we are going to help you with digitizing that as well. And we just want to help with the communication tool in general, whether that's communicating with your parents as well as communicating with your staff internally. But all of that is all of the features that we have available to you. We have, some customers, example, we have a customer named Lightbridge Academy, and they will definitely, give examples of how quickly, how much time they saved, how quickly they've been able to implement the products. And so we definitely want more success stories coming from you guys in terms of, how we're able to solve some of these problems and actually turn the center around in terms of enrollment or just how much more you're able to communicate with your parents. So getting on the same page, again, when we talk about, the data that we've been able to capture just on the industry as a whole, we always hear about so many different products being used just to manage your center on a daily basis, whether it's QuickBooks, whether it's, Tuition Express, whether it's, something for your management system, parent engagement system, lead tracking. A lot of times you can use up to 8 different products just to be able to manage your center on a daily basis. So when we're talking about you're already using our Enroll product, which allows you to be able to really track that family all the way from them first being interested all the way to them successfully enrolling and starting, you're already using Line Leader Enroll. Now we want to introduce you to the unified platform, which is going to save you even more time because that's going to encompass a parent engagement tool as well as a built-in management system. And so what that's going to do is it's going to decrease the number of products that you're using. It's going to allow you to keep that one, username and password, so you don't have to think of multiple things or save multiple accounts on your computer. You have one dedicated support team that's going to allow you to be supported with all of those different platforms. And really, it's just going to allow you to save a lot of time with having all of your data organized and streamlined and usable in one specific search. So you're not going to have multiple tabs open and have to remember multiple different things. All of that data is stored kind of in one place for everyone to be able to pull up. So by training your team on the unified platform, we want to make everything consistent and easy to maneuver so that, again, we want to save you that time so that you're able to spend it, with the kiddos and building the relationship with your parents. All right, so we talk about capturing the magic. We talk about recording as much as you can. Internally, we record webinars, we record our bi-weekly user trainings. We record a lot so that the training material is easily accessible through our knowledge base. It's also accessible for us internally if we need to learn a little bit more about the product. So, we always try to use Zoom, Loom, Vimeo, YouTube. We try to use as many of those platforms so that the information is easily accessible on demand. I know for myself internally, I have my own kind of folder so that when customers reach out, I can send them a link to the video so that whether it's staff turnover or whether, it's more people come on board, you're able to make sure that there's that baseline of knowledge that's being shared. We also encourage the kind of train the trainer method, which is allowing you guys to get trained up. And then that way you're able to share that internally throughout your team. So we all know that most of your staff are visual learners. So handing them, a 40-page user guide maybe is not the best use of your time. Maybe logging in, having screens up, walking them through as they're hearing it and doing it can obviously, increase the retaining of the knowledge. But we want to make sure that we continually offer the trainings and webinars on the industry standards and things that are coming out so that we help you guys increase the success. So another just number right there is 74% of trainers say that they use video learning as a part of their training delivery because, again, you may be able to watch it and do it along with the video, and that's going to help you retain a lot of the knowledge a little bit faster and easier as opposed to trying to remember what you hear as well as, remembering what you're reading. So definitely use that to your advantage. Definitely recording things so that you're not having to do multiple trainings on the same item or product is going to save you time internally as well.
We highly recommend that you provide bonuses and incentives for adopting new processes. We've had several different customers that have had challenges and competitions between their staff to make sure that they are using the different aspects of the platform. Ideas for incentivizing, we have from various different customers, we've used, $25 for completing all your tasks on time, or PTO day for getting the most tours for scheduled to tour completed and actually completing your tours. We've had enrollment challenges. There are a lot of different incentives that can be provided, and the reports within Line Leader provide an ability to track all of that information so that you can have those indicators. As Jessica Johnson from Yellow Brick Road says, they're indicators of how the staff is performing. And she is definitely one of those that definitely tracks that data and provides intense bonuses and incentives for using the software that they've adopted. You're paying for this software to use it, so you want to make sure that your staff is using it to its fullest advantage. Any staff member can get positive reviews that mention their name specifically. So if you have everybody goes to your Google reviews and Yelp reviews and Facebook reviews to see what other people are saying about you, and especially for childcare centers. I know when my kids were going to childcare centers, I definitely went and looked at all the reviews. I wanted to see the positive and the negative, but incentivizing your employees for driving those reviews is a huge way to incentivize your employees. Also, when you get those kudos, you're going to stay with that company. If you're getting that positive feedback generated, and like the statistic says, 87% of companies use incentives to reward staff, they have 87% higher levels of employee retention. That is a huge advantage when you use incentives to reward your staff. And they don't have to be monetary necessarily. You can get swag from companies that you work with. You can provide, Starbucks gift cards or use anything like that to be able to incentivize them. But it really drives the retention of your staff, but it also drives the retention of the software you're using. You can also incentivize teachers using the engagement app that every time licensing comes and finds no violations, when they do a minimum of 3 updates per family, we can provide you in our engagement app a requirement that your families receive moments throughout the day from their child, what he's doing, what she's doing in the center, and drive that to incentivize your teachers. You can also incentivize your directors for collecting all their tuition fees on time, making sure that all their parents are set up for auto pay, making sure that they aren't having to charge late fees, but we can automate all of that for you.